So, welcome. Hello. Welcome. This is Zero Empires and Robo Burrow.
That's
bringing
me.
you a best of 3 series for AM versus SY.
Woohoo!
I want to kind of do an intro like, like a voicemail or something,
Please leave a message after the tone. Beep.
Or, when you go to the train station and they always talk in that, it's like an automated voice, right? And it's like, the next train to depart from platform 3 will be the...
The 9:45 to Preston.
Oh, background music. I keep forgetting the background music. How do I keep doing this? It's all good. To Preston. What's Preston?
It's a place.
Where? Where is Preston?
There's a Preston in Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a Preston in the UK as well. I thought you knew the town.
Well, I knew there's a
UK.
Preston somewhere in here. I've got no idea where it is, though.
Okay. Well, there we go. Anyway, welcome SY versus AM. Best of 3 here. First map, Team Acropolis. And we have to the south, Team AM, MBL, Nikov, and Leary spawning together. The 3 musketeers down here.
Yeah, on their crop.
On their acrop.
Yeah.
On their Acropolis.
No, it's an acrop. Acropolis is plural.
Is it, though?
Probably not, but just go with it.
Acropoli not. I thought it was Acropoli if it was multiple.
Maybe.
Or Acropolises.
Acropolises.
Yeah, maybe. But, yes, MBL will be taking the purple Berbers. Nikov will be taking the blue Franks. And Leary will be taking the green Indians.
Lots of cavalry civs here.
Yeah, going all out on Cav, really. And I guess that's sort of because of the map. It's very open. Well, it's not super open, but you're not realistically going to wall it. And there's going to be a lot of raiding opportunities when players start expanding to the wood lines down
Off the hill.
of the Acropoli.
That's true. And also, it's a really far distance between players, or between teams, I should say. You try to do a man-at-arm rush. By the time you get to the enemy base, it's minute 11 and they've already fully walled, or they've got 4 or 5 scouts out and ready to defend.
Right. On the other side, Team Secret.
Team SY.
God damn it. Something wrong with me today. I said I wasn't feeling well. Lix playing in the teal as the Berbers. Yinghua in the red as the Franks. And in the yellow, it's the Yo playing as the Mongols. So they're basically swapping out the Indians for the Mongols
That's
in
true.
comparison to AM. Which is interesting, right? Because Berbers and Indians both have great camels.
Yes.
But in the late game,
Indians are better.
Indians, they're going to have the better camels.
And then you also have to think about camel archers. They hard counter Mangadai, essentially.
Yes, and they've got that covered. Where the Mongol player, what is he going to do in the late game? He's going to go camels, beaten by the Indians.
And
or
just
go
really bad camels because they don't get the last armor upgrade.
Exactly. Or make Mangadai and get beaten by the Berber camel archers. Camel archers.
Camel archers.
From MBL.
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward civ composition here, I think.
Exactly.
Like, Mongols, individually, all 4 of these civs are incredibly powerful. But I think it's just the way the teams utilize them together
Yes.
is really going to, I guess, signify who's going to win this game.
Sort of how they complement each
Yeah,
other.
and how they
such,
play
right?
together.
Yeah. If they sort of tell each other that they have a nice dress and, have really nice
exactly.
makeup today, then they're probably more likely to work together a little bit better,
Well, that means AM's going to lose for sure because they never do that.
hate each other.
Yeah, clearly.
But, I think it'll be interesting to see the dynamic between the Indians and the Mongols here. I'm personally sort of favoring AM in this one because of
I think
the
their civs definitely are better.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just Indians against
So many cavalry. Like, Indian camels with Mangadai are still, okay.
decent.
It's still pretty good.
And then you've got the Berber camel archers behind that just for a little bit of backup.
Yeah. And then just Frank Paladins just doing Frank Paladin things and killing you with stuff.
That's very beefy, very buff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the thing is, though, you still got to get to that point in the game. I mean, we're talking about this super late game, which we're just assuming we're going to get to. But what's to say we're going to get there? I mean, what's to say that one team won't come forward, do some castle drops or something, and try and take out some of this exposed eco on the flanks.
That's true. But I feel like in that case, the advantage is also with AM because Indians are a much faster civ than the Mongols are, right? Their eco bonus, cheaper villages, insane at any stage of the game.
Yeah, super good. Whereas the Mongol eco bonus really helps them out for the first few minutes.
And now
then that's
yeah,
it.
by now it's finished already.
Yeah, Mr. Yo up to feudal here, but
Incredibly late.
I believe he lost a boar. If I'm not mistaken, there was a boar steal.
I don't think there are any boar steals.
I thought I saw 3 boar under 1 TC.
There are extra boars on the map.
Well, there are 2 boars out on the side.
And I think
yeah.
MBL possibly had extra boars at the bottom of his map.
Okay, well in that case...
Like, there's a flashing light at MBL's base, just at the bottom.
Well, in that case, it's interesting because... Oh, hello. He was definitely pulling that with his scout, but I don't know if that was a bonus boar or something else.
No, I think that villager was luring and the scout was blocking the boar.
Maybe. Bora Bora. But he's going to be faster than the Yo up to the feudal age. And Lyria will be faster than Yo up to feudal as well. So
Are they all just doing straight FC?
it could very well be. They're all on like 27 out of 30 pop.
Yeah.
We've got
Very
25,
slow
26,
feudals.
27
So just the
bills.
Frank player for AM, just Nikov is making scouts. Whereas on the other side, both Lix and the Frankish player, they're both making scouts. So it's 2v1 in the scout war here in feudal age.
The question is, what can they do with it? Can they actually break in, do any damage? Can they find something? Nikov's got some walls on the left side, got some spearmen there. Lix walling in his villages already. Yo doing the same thing.
So
They're
the
all
question
playing
there,
it safe.
is any of the hills open? Like, it looks like the back of Yo's base is fully walled. And if we follow this wall, are they done?
No, there's a wide open
Leary
hole.
not even bothering to wall at all.
MBL
and
and
Nikov, they're both doing
their part.
Yeah,
Leary's
they're doing
like,
the dutiful thing.
You guys got this. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Nikov, you can defend me with your scouts, right?
Is it fine? Yinghua going to come in with 4 scouts. Leary's got 1 spearman. Although they do know where these scouts are, so he might bring more spearmen over or something. But, yeah, I mean, they are open here. About the
boy.
other side, by the
MBL
way.
flaring, though, he's probably thinking, oh shit, there's a hole here. Fix this, please.
Yep. Please fix this. Leary, what are you doing?
You had one job.
Well, I think they'll be fine, to be honest, for the most part. I mean, they've got 3 spearmen and a scout.
5 spearmen now, actually.
Yeah, that's
Leary
even
scouts.
more.
Spearmen all over the place.
So they'll be okay. They'll be fine. And on the other side, I don't think Nikov's really going for anything there anyway. He's just bringing his scouts back.
Back to defend. And
Oh,
as soon
good
as
call there.
Leary gets to Castle Age, 1 or 2 camels will prevent any sort of scout raiding.
Yeah, it almost feels a bit wasted from SY, to be honest. They've invested quite a bit in a number of scouts, and they've done essentially 0 with it.
Well, you know, there's 1 kill there's 1 kill in the game basically so far.
And it's Yinghua killing, I don't know what.
A spearman from Leary.
Yeah, I think it was that spearman here. Yeah.
Just over there.
So first blood to Yinghua, but all in all, this has to favour AM because they're up to castle first, and the scout investment has not paid off, or has it?
Maybe
As
you're going
I
to get
say
1 or 2
that,
here.
The spearman, for whatever reason, deciding to run away, and that village is dead. So 1 vill down.
It's still a lot of scouts though, you know, 5 or
is.
6 scouts each. Right, so that's 10 scouts in total for 1 bill kill. Not what you want to see.
No.
And then Nikov up to castle incredibly quickly to follow this up.
Yeah, pretty quick. He did go scouts, but he didn't really make too many. So sort of he has the presence, but doesn't really
Yeah, just
set
so
him
he's
back
got
too far. And it's like Lix up to castle now as well. Yinghua up, Mr. Yo straight up,
straight in the castle.
adding a castle, and doesn't even add a second TC yet. Just straight up with the castle.
I would guess he'd build a TC down on the wood line somewhere around there.
He may do that eventually, yes. But interestingly, Leary, he is able to make a couple of camels and, of course, add some TCs as well. We've got second TC coming up for MBL, and maybe even a third on the way soon.
But first of all, he's got the castle
He has
up,
already got the
making the
castle.
camel archers.
I'd say he's 1 step ahead of Yo at the moment. Yo's sort of just about to add his TC here, but by that time, MBL probably could have this TC up. So maybe ahead, and of course, as we know already, it's going to be Mangadai against Camel Archer, and, you know, which one would you prefer?
Definitely the camel archers.
Exactly.
In a 1v1 fight, for sure.
The Spearman going to clean up those scouts, no problem. And economically, both teams pretty close. AM ahead by 5 vils. It's nothing to write home about. It's just a small advantage for now. We'll see if they hold on to that advantage as the game develops, but to be honest, I think the next thing to really focus on is going to be the utilization of these Mangadai, see what they can find. Good scouting for Nikov, though. Sees it.
Sees the castle, sees the Mangadai. He knows, okay, guys, don't go to this part of the hill. MBL immediately goes to that part of the hill and dies with his scout. Just double checking the information.
Yeah, got to see it with his own eyes to believe it. And there's the third TC from MBL as well. Second TC from Nikov coming up on the outside. And all 3 TCs are up for Yinghua and Lix. So they might have been behind in villagers, but perhaps they'll catch up a little bit now they've got the additional TCs out. But yeah, I mean, their sort of TC expansion was a little faster, it seems.
But look at Leary is in such like a vulnerable position here. All of his TCs to the front because he's got
right.
no wood lines to the back of his base that he can go
He's
to.
not going to build a TC here, is he?
Like maybe for the 1 goal, but there's no farming space around it. Really difficult position for him to be in. And maybe if, you know, SY goes heavily aggressive, someone comes forward with a siege workshop, those 2 TCs could come under some heavy fire and pressure there.
Yeah, they could. I mean, even just a large number of knights, for example, if the Frank player started making like a bunch of knights. In fact, Yinghua is doing double stable production right now. We can see him there. So it's going to be knights and Mangadai against camels and camel archers by the looks of things.
I
Which
think Nikov's probably going to make knights as well.
Yeah, I mean, he probably is. Yeah, he is making a couple now. But yeah, on this right side at the moment, that's sort of what we're looking at. And that should be no problem for AM to deal with.
Not at all. Camels and camel archers, hard counter knights and Mangadai.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just going to be difficult for SY there. At least for now. Until maybe, just maybe, their Berber player starts to add something as well. I mean, he's currently Lix, that is, going for camels.
And Berber camels, they're so cheap, so easy to mass.
They are, but I still feel like the AM composition is a bit better here. They're sort of covering all bases.
True. I think that's a fair statement. But roaming around, trying to get some snipes here and there, some little bit of raiding damage. But the villager counts, they're still staying pretty consistent. Like, that's still that 10 vil lead, which we saw earlier in the game, not really changing. So both teams are booming at about the same rate, it would seem.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. The Mangadai at the back may get cleaned up here, actually.
Potentially get trapped, maybe, if Nikov has any army on the left-hand side.
I would just like to add that all AM members have got horse collar and bit axe at this point in the game, and they all have wheelbarrow as well.
But Leary not doing bowsaw, and actually the same for Yingao, like not doing the Castle Age wood upgrade. That's a little sloppy, don't you think?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I guess it's easy to forget in the moment, or the opportunity just hasn't presented itself yet. Either way, this Mangadai going to come up against these camel archers here, and probably don't really want to stick around too much. Although, with that said, Lix is in the front lines with camels, so pretty good combination if the camels can get onto the camel archers. But there's camel archers coming in from the back as well. They'll take out the Mangadai as they retreat.
No ballistics, so they can just run away, it seems.
Yeah, it does look that way. And Lix, even though it's camel versus knight, will have to run back there anyway.
That's true. Doesn't want to get any converts off there. He doesn't really have that many numbers, but maybe the fight's okay if he can get to the top of the hill.
Yeah, I mean, the annoying thing about this is they haven't honoured the colour rules, and
yeah,
it's
Lix
kind of
has got the wrong colour
because it's now blue versus blue, which shouldn't happen in the ECL because we have the colour
Lix
rules.
And both Lix and MBL have sort of switched the colours that they should be.
Yeah, exactly. MBL should. Is it no?
Yeah, MBL should be teal and Lix should be
you're right.
purple.
Yeah, you're right. But oh well. Leary going forward with a wall off on the right-hand side. Trying to close that off now, just to make sure that they get a bit more map control and he can protect that forward eco, of course.
Some more space to boom into and securing the corner for later in the game if it gets to trade.
Yeah. And then that really forward TC from Lix, looks like they're trying to contest that left side of the map.
And even coming forward,
Yeah.
walling in the golds to prevent that being taken.
That's very nice. Good pressure here as well. They've got a good forward position. One conversion coming out for Nikov, but
loses 3 monks there. Not ideal.
Exactly. Three monks going down to the Mangadai, and they're in once again. They need to close off this left side somehow. Otherwise, they're going to have quite a few problems on their hands. It looks like military-wise, it's...
fairly equal.
Yeah, fairly equal, but it just looks like SY seem to be doing more with it around the map, you know?
But at the same time, AM is also booming harder. They were a 10 bill lead earlier, now it's almost 20 bills.
That's true.
A lot of their players seem to have 4 TCs going on. At least MBL does. I think Nikov might have 4 TCs as well. So they're really getting a heavy boom going. But on the other side, we're seeing 2 players up to Imperial Age, 1 from each team. The Berbers versus the Franks.
It's pretty cool to see just how quickly those Mangadais melt to
yeah.
Camel Archers, though.
They get destroyed.
It's nice to see the Mangadai actually having a counter unit. It's great. It's just what I want. But yeah, like I say, the focus so far really has been on AM's side of the map. Why is that? Well, it's because it's SY doing the damage. It's SY pushing in, finding the angles to attack. So it's kind of annoying for AM. They can't complete their wall off here. They're still open. They're still under pressure on the left side a little bit. And if they can't really secure the map control, they could be in trouble as this game starts to progress in towards that Imperial Age. Yinghua about to be up. MBL is up as well. And as you said, Berbers against Franks there with the upgrades.
But the problem though is, I mean, you got Camel Archers versus Paladin, which is not the sort of units you want to be seeing. But Leary following him up to Imperial Age, going to get those heavy camels, and then Imperial camels coming in to support MBL pretty quickly. And the same on the other side, the Yo up to Imp, getting those Mangadai out.
Yeah, Yinghua already has Cavalier on the way. MBL now just doing Bracer, Chemistry, getting those upgrades for the Camel Archers, of course. And Yinghua's Paladin could be quite impactful here, because I don't care what you say about counters and all that, but having fully upgraded Paladin on the field is always strong, especially if you have it before anyone else. A good opportunity to make a push.
Oh, it's so good. No matter how you use it, if you're using it for raiding or fighting army, they've got such a tanky unit. So much HP, so much armor, so much attack.
Even if you're against a counter unit like we saw last game, right? Like, even if your opponent's prepared 20 Helbs, still okay.
It's still fine.
Send it in,
like
send it in the
Paladins will 1v1 a Helb and they'll win.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you've got lots of Paladin, it just snowballs because they so quickly double up. Like 3 or 4 Paladins, you know, kill a Helb in 2 hits and it's gone.
And they're not really particularly scared about Castle Age camels either. So maybe there's an opportunity for SY to do some damage here with these Cavalier. They're going to try and make it through this gate on the right side. They're in.
But they're not going in just yet.
Maybe they're waiting for the right time. But still, I'm concerned about AM because they just don't have map control. I mean, look at how well Liri's walling now, but Lix almost has a further forward wall as well. He's also going into raid at the back. That's not a good idea. Get the hell out of there.
Wait for Imperial Age, get your upgrades.
2 castles.
And he still has that sneaky little TC in the edge of the map there, mining that gold.
Right there. And walling that off as well. So SY have much larger area of map control, but let's see what they can do here. Paladin isn't in yet, so they've got to be very careful to take this fight because it is Camel and Camel Archer, Elite Camel Archer even, against Elite Mangadai and Cavalier. That's not a fight they want to take.
Wait.
Oh, God.
Oh, where are you going?
Please, what is this? Pathing. That's what it is.
Yeah, it feels bad, man. He's going to take a couple of extra losses. It's not, you know, the end of the world there for him. Oh, but maybe they're deleting the wall, trying to block him in. Or run through the gate with him.
Getting through the gate.
Oh, that
nicely
is beautiful.
Done. AM, that was a great play.
That was beautiful play by Leary there, just deleting the wall. Now he's going to pull the gate while he's there.
So quick, you know, like just so quick. That was a really nice play, really clean. Very well played by AM, and they're actually through now with this really powerful combination. Chivalry coming in for Nikov, so he'll be going up to Cavalier and stuff soon. Just waiting for those for that upgrade to finish first.
But we're seeing there's the massive Paladins there in the front. Imperial Camel just starting for Leary, going to take a little while to come in. This could be a good fight for SY. And Lix is here as well with his heavy camels. It's 3v2.
Well, we'll see what they can get done. I mean, they are backing up for now, and they have left some camels behind to hold the gate open for them, which is really fortunate, because without that, they could be in a whole world of pain.
Right, but there's some bad patrols coming in here from SY. They could maybe turn around and get a 2v1 fight against some of these Paladins, but nope, they're just going to keep running back.
Yeah, all the way
Leary
back.
getting
And they need to
stuck
get
a little
through the
bit.
gate, get through the gate. Sort of cannon fodder at the moment for these Mangadai. And the whole idea of having those camel archers to fight the Mangadai, it only works if they can actually stand still and shoot and not just have to run away with their tails
Keep
between their legs.
constantly running makes it difficult to shoot, for sure. Nikov, though, he's getting Paladin. Where is his army, though? Not on the right-hand side, it seems.
Nowhere.
Nikov
Here.
doesn't have a big army at all.
Well, he's seen this on the left-hand side, but he can't really do much about it right now. You know, it's kind of worrying. He's 23 Cavalier against the 41 Paladins of Yinghua. And this fight here is pretty huge. Camel Archers are doing well, though. If they can just hold out, they did get that Imperial Camel upgrade.
Yeah, that was really key for Leary there.
Absolutely essential, yeah. Really well held.
Oh, and trying to get the stone walls.
Oh my goodness,
but they quickly
that was so
killed the
close,
gate.
Though.
The
You've
quick
got to give him
reactions.
credit for trying.
Oh yeah, Leary almost had him trapped in there.
I'll tell you what, though, Imperial Camel absolutely turning that around. Even Lix, who was in there with his regular camels, wasn't able to do anything in that fight. That was a great fight for AM. In fact, the overall KD for AM right now, just a little bit ahead, 130 to 115.
I feel like they might have overboomed a little bit. Like we see on the right-hand side, they're behind on trade, and yes, they've got 60 more villages, but being low on trade really hurts them at this stage. They're starting to transition into the late game. Full trade needs to start soon, and having an extra 20 villages isn't the same as an extra 20 trade cards.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to find this eco on the left side from Lix, and he's going to trap down the castle, so that's quite a good little win for AM. But still, they're under a lot of pressure. They don't have a lot of map control. They need to kind of break out where they can and regain some of that map control with some maybe forward walls or something.
Fort castles, some siege as well. That's actually something to consider. The Mongol player has really good siege and speedy siege rams and siege onagers. None of AM's team have incredible siege. None of them have siege ram.
No.
So
just they're going to have to rely on
Trebs
and bombard
cannons, basically, and maybe just some normal cap rams, which is not the best thing in the world. So that is actually something in favor of AM. In favor of SY, even though we were saying the hard counters are against them.
You also see them doing hoardings and architecture and stuff, which to me, you see those techs coming in, it's usually reactionary. Most players don't bother getting them until they really need them.
Right, you need it to defend your castles. Yeah, that's when you get it.
And that's kind of telling me that, they're under a lot of pressure. But let's see how this goes. This is not good. These camel archers need to be behind the Imperial camels. And at the moment, they're all blocking camels being in front. That doesn't seem so good to
This
me.
is a huge 3v2 fight here. Nikov's army nowhere to be seen on the side of the map.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't want to get involved when there's so many camels there, but still could be a really good fight for AM if Nikov were to join, because it's already going quite well in their favor. Well, not in their favor overall, but they could have won that. I think they could have swung that in their favor.
But there's some onagers coming in as well for Yo, hoping to get a shot off on the camel archers. Trebs are going down, and there's so many Mangadai here. Look at this, Yo.
Where's Nikov? Oh, he's here.
Attacking a gate.
Alright, 44 paladins bunched up here.
Lovely.
Needed to be over this side, ideally.
That's just bad team communication, I think, right there.
Crazy. And we've got Drill coming in now as well, so speedy siege rams for Yo. And they're going to push in with those paladins, and they need to replenish their heavy Imperial camel numbers, really. But Nikov might be through.
No, he is not.
He's not. He's running now
decided,
to the right
okay, I'm not getting in here. I have to go to the other side.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a shame, because that could have gone so much better for them if he'd have been there in the first place. See Jonager coming in for Yo.
Just one or two shots off against those camel archers could be enough to swing around this fight.
I mean, the problem here that I see is that the elite camel archers are great when they're fighting against the Mangadai, but they're rarely fighting against the Mangadai.
So there's always paladins or heavy camels in the way, right?
Paladins and stuff, right? In that case, the Mangadai is better because it has a higher DPS, right? Faster firing speed.
Yep,
and
true. Same attack, it's just the speed.
Speed makes the difference.
But the big thing that I'm seeing here, Leary has 13 military. Everyone else in the game has 30 plus army. He has only 10 Imperial camels at the moment.
And he's got no gold, that's the problem. They've only got 50 trade carts, and that's not enough to really get enough gold income at this point to realistically keep up with production.
Exactly.
He's at the limit on production right now. And that is way behind everyone else. How many trade carts does he have? He has the least trade carts in the game at 13. So Leary, I guess maybe the strat was, okay, we'll make a big push together.
Right.
But they didn't.
But then Nikov just
Nikov wasn't
doing
there.
his own thing on the other side. So in that case, they shouldn't have pushed. They should have, okay, well, Nikov's not here yet. We've got to go back and wait.
So that's it. This is a huge problem for AM now. It looks like SY will be able to push through here because Leary doesn't have the gold income to actually keep military production going. And he's lost his whole army.
Yeah, and NBL's constantly running back from these onages because he can't afford to come anywhere near them.
No, you can't take a shot at this point. You have to preserve and buy time. At this point, they are on a energy saving mode.
Yeah, we've got to keep waiting. We've got to try to wait for some gold to come in so that we can afford to make some army. But oh man, Lix is on the left-hand side as well, and Yo's
Raiding
possibly
in here.
thinking about going for a trade raid.
Could very well be.
Like both their armies. Oh yeah, NBL's
Straight
ready
down.
to defend that, but 1v2 against all those paladins.
Paladins, they're the problem.
Yeah,
Oops.
Nikov's coming with a little bit of.
Look at the difference in health alone.
Yeah,
And
look
then
at
the honor just coming
Yo
in as
just
well.
instantly swings around there to attack the paladin while the paladin continue going for the camel archers.
Try to select everything. Is it Control A? Yeah, there we go.
That also grabs, villages.
No,
Oh
it
no, it's
doesn't.
just the military.
Just military, yeah.
Oh boy, they're going to be into the trade in a second now. And the onagers, look at them. They're chasing.
Here we go.
They're chasing the camel archers.
Can
They're trying to get
can
there.
they hit them? Can they get them? They're too much paying attention, like the camel archer's getting out the way, but still.
Leary's in the back there. He's got a small army himself there, but AM has, 30 less army than SY at the moment.
They're in trouble. They're in big trouble.
And it looks like
That's
NBL's...
why I have the eco lead as well.
Oh yeah, massively. And it looks like they're pushing on the left-hand side as well. NBL's losing a castle, I believe.
Over here. Whoa, Nikov is repairing it for him while Lix trebs it down. But ran out of stone, it seems. Yeah, Lix is winning that. And these guys down here just gutted out that wood line.
They didn't really kill many trade cards at all, but
No.
they forced a huge reaction. And look at that, Yo's already prepped and ready to go with another big, massive Mangadai ready to run in here.
Leary still only has 12 military units. He needs more trade. He's up to 31 now, but he's not there, is he? He's not there.
And these paladins are just diving up this hill to take down these trebuchets. They don't care whatsoever about all this arrow fire. It's worth it for them to trade off their military to take down these siege weapons.
Yeah, it's super worth it. And the siege is so expensive anyway.
Yo's running for the trade on the bottom.
He is? Yeah.
He's almost there.
So close. There's a few camel archers, but there's not enough to
Not
stop
enough
him,
to
really.
be useful.
I mean, maybe he's going to try and come around sort of in here, perhaps.
Or get up onto the hill so he gets the hill bonus as well. But,
Maybe-
oh no,
Oh,
there's a
it's a
huge
trap.
army from NBL.
He's really got to be careful here. Will Yo maybe risk it?
I think you may as well.
He's
right?
here now.
Just like, leave 4 or 5 of them here and then keep splitting them up into small groups all over the place to force the reaction to chase them all down bit by bit.
Oh, NBL getting caught up with Nikov, sorry, not with Nikov, with Yinghwa's paladins there. So Mr. Yo's going to run through. He's just doing a quick tour, big
Yeah.
scout, and try and put some distance between him and NBL. Might not be so easy. What did you just press?
If you select the units, then you press F, it will follow them.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, yes,
Instead of just dragging around.
sure. You can do that too.
How much smoother is that?
It's very smooth. I agree. It's very smooth. Oh, and he's going to meet with Yinghua here. He already
Couple of
has
paladin
some
here.
paladins raiding as well.
And NBL's just lost another castle. I think he's only got 2 castles left. So if he loses his massive camel archers, he's going to have huge problems remassing them.
And just there, you see the problem.
Oh, these walls from Nikov, he's trying to do the right thing, but it forces all the trade carts to bunch up. And
That's it, GG.
it looks like there's even a raid in the south corner in the trade as well.
Yep, at the same time, there's a bunch of paladins coming in.
More Mangadai.
And I've got to say, that game felt very one-sided. SY seemed to be the aggressors the whole time. Most of the game, we spent sort of just watching
AM's half of the map.
half, exactly. And, it doesn't bode well when you're always on one half of the map. And AM never really got the opportunity to strike back. I feel a little disappointed with Leary, to be honest. I feel like I mean, him and Nikov both had misplays there. Nikov, Army way out of position when they were taking the fight. You can't necessarily only blame Nikov for that. It could have been a general communication thing. But then also Leary never replenishing his army because he just didn't have the resources. He never had the gold, never had the trade, and just ran out of steam.
They were just a little bit too slow getting trade going, possibly because they were trying to defend the the larger Castle Age aggression that SY were doing. So they felt forced to overinvest in military, not get trade going. And like you might think, they only had 15, 20 less trade cards. It's not a big deal, but it starts to compound so quickly in the total gold gathered, right? Because you're 10 trade cards behind at minute 1, and then every minute, that's 10 trade cards worth of gold being gathered extra for the other team.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they've spent 3,000 more gold than we have on army. Well, yeah, no wonder.
Starts to snowball, doesn't it? Gold per minute at the end there, you could see.
Yeah, it's 1,000 more gold.
1,000 extra gold per minute for SY. Quite a lot of extra wood as well, thanks to the extra villagers they had. And there you have it. GG, SY take the first game.